Hey everyone, it's Maureen Muldoon, and we're on lesson 191. And if you like these lessons, go ahead and like it, subscribe, share it with your friends. Lesson 191 from A Course in Miracles. This book is where Jesus is inviting us to walk home. And today it says, I am the Holy Son of God Himself. There's a section in A Course that says, what am I? And it says, I am God's Son, complete and healed and whole, shining in reflection of His love. You can look that section up yourself and sing it to the tune of Oh Danny Boy, if that tickles your fancy. But we're going to move on to I am the Holy Son of God Himself, 190. Here is your declaration of release from bondage of the world, and here as well as all the world released. You do not see what you have done by giving to the world the role of jailer to the Son of God. What could it be but vicious and afraid, fearful of shadows, punitive and wild, lacking all reason, blind, insane with hate? Yikes. Yeah. These are all the things that I get to see when I forget that I am the Holy Son of God Himself. And don't you forget that pretty often. What would you have done? This should be your world. Yeah, nothing. You're innocent. There's nothing that you could do that could bring forth that world except for the thought that you're guilty. And you're not. You're innocent. I'm innocent. We're innocent together. What have you done that this is what you see? Deny your own identity, and this is what remains. You look on chaos and proclaim it yourself. There is no sight that fails to witness this to you. There is no sound that does not speak of frailty within you and without, no breath you draw that does not seem to bring you nearer death, no hope you hold, but will dissolve in tears. Yikes. Maybe that's why it's taken me so long to get to this lesson and record it for you, because it's a bit of a doozy. But, this is what happens when we deny our identity. Deny your own identity, and you will not escape the madness which induces this weird, unnatural, and ghostly thought that mocks creation and that laughs at God. Deny your own identity, and you assail the world alone without a friend, a teeny particle of dust against the legions of your enemies. Deny your own identity, and look on evil, sin, and death, and watch despair snatch from your fingers every grasp of hope, leaving you nothing but the wild wish to die. I added that word wild. Sorry about that. Leaving nothing but the wish to die. So don't do that. Don't deny your own identity. You are God's Son, complete and healed and holy. And when you go about the world and you're saying, I'm broke, I'm sad, that person made me feel bad, these are all scripts of not just the ego, but scripts of the victim. And that's just so unbecoming. And it's not the truth of who we are. The world has no ability to define you. You are already predefined and designed by God as holy and good and beautiful. Now, you cannot give what you do not have, so if you do not accept that, you'll never see the world like that. But if you begin to accept that, you'll begin to see a world that reflects this state of mind. In number 4, it says, yet what is it except a game you play in which identity can be denied? You are as God created you. All else but this one thing is folly to believe. It's just a silly thought. This is the teeny mad idea at which we forgot to laugh. You are as God created you. All else but this one thing is folly to believe. I love that word, folly. I once went to Folly Beach. It was really cool. This one thought is everyone set free. In this one truth are all illusions done. In this one fact is sinlessness proclaimed to be forever part of everything, the central core of its existence and its guarantee of immortality. I was sitting with somebody yesterday who had done mushrooms. I've never done mushrooms, but I asked him, what was it like? And he said, he had this little ant crawling on him, And he was like so intrigued that normally in his normal life he would be like, oh, gotta get this ant off of me. But in this state of, you know, I guess intoxication or whatever you'd call it, he saw the little ant and he was like, huh, I wonder what his existence is like. And I feel like I'm at one with him and I'm just sort of like this little ant. So I guess I'm saying that just to say that these ideas can feel trippy, yeah? You know, like that I'm one with everything. And just take a breath and breathe that in. And if it's hard to understand it, just let it wash over you. You don't need to eat mushrooms in order to get to this state. You know, wasn't it Alice in Wonderland who ate some mushrooms? If you want to eat mushrooms, it's fine. It doesn't matter. It's all a dream. It goes on to say, but let today's idea find a place among your thoughts, and you have risen far above the world and all the worldly thoughts that hold it prisoner. And from this place of safety and escape, you will return and set it free. For he who can accept his true identity is truly saved. And his identity is the gift he gives to everyone in gratitude to him who points out the way to happiness that changed his whole perception of the world. I'm the Holy Son of God himself. To know that with every cell of your body, every fiber of your being, to live in that is quite helpful. You know, this is what Jesus did. This is what enlightened beings do, is they know who and whose they are. And they walk the world, you know, escorted by angels. It goes on to say, the one holy thought like this, and you're free. You are the Holy Son of God himself, and this holy thought you learn as well that you have freed the world. You have no need to use it cruelly and then perceive the savage need in it. You set it free of your imprisonment. Like, you could experience that state of freedom from all pain and suffering when you know this. You set it free of your imprisonment. You will not see a devastating image of yourself walking the world in terror, with the world twisting in agony because your fears have laid the mark of death upon its heart. Be glad today. How very easily is hell undone. You need but tell yourself, I'm the Holy Son of God himself. I cannot suffer. I cannot be in pain. I cannot suffer loss nor fail to do all that salvation asks. Okay, take a breath. I hear all the mad rambles going, what do you mean? I'm suffering. I'm in pain. You want me to deny that I'm in pain? I want you to just actually be with the pain and be curious with it. And instead of fighting it, fearing it, fixing it, or fixating on it, just be with it. Just really examine the stimuli of this thing that we call pain, and just be with it. And take a few breaths there. Ask the Holy Spirit, what's the purpose of this heartbreak, of this physical pain? What is the purpose? And just continue to be with it until it answers you, until it gives you an adequate answer. It might take a little time. The ego is very impatient. It will say, I asked, and I didn't get anything. Wait. Just wait. And in that thought is everything you look upon wholly changed. A miracle has lighted up all darkness in ancient caverns where the rites of death echo since time began. For time has lost its hold upon the world. The Son of God has come in glory to redeem the lost, to save the helpless, to give the world the gift of his forgiveness. Who could see the world as dark and sinful when God's Son has come again at last to set it free? You who perceive yourself as weak and frail with futile hopes and devastating dreams, born but to die and weep and suffer pain, hear this. You who have ears to hear, Hear this. All power is given unto you in earth and heaven. There is nothing you cannot do. So when you say, I have this pain, this suffering, this heartbreak, I can't do it, I can't do it, I can't do it, you're arguing for your limitations. This is really a huge assault to the ego. There is nothing you cannot do that is in alignment with the plan of God. You play the game of death, of being helpless and pitiful, tied to dissolutions in the world which shows no mercy on you. Yet when you accord it mercy, will its mercy shine on you? The world is a mirror. It's simply reflecting our state of mind. Then let the Son of God awaken from his sleep and open his holy eyes, return again to bless the world he made. In terror it began. Why? Because we made that teeny mad idea at which we forgot to laugh, and we're like, oh shit, we're in trouble. I'm a guilty kid, and I better go hide my sticky fingers from God. You know, it's my smear of chocolate all over my face. I got into it. And God's like, oh my God, you are so adorable. Like, please don't hide. Please don't pretend you can cloak yourself in guilt. Like, that's the one thing that will prevent you from seeing me. But as you remember and return to your innocence, then you'll be able to see me in everything. Then let the Son of God awaken from his sleep and open his holy eyes and return again to bless the world he made. In error it began, but it will end in the reflection of his holiness, and he will sleep no more and dream of death. Then join with me today. Your glory is the light that saves the world. Do not withhold salvation longer. Look about the world, see the suffering there. Is not your heart willing to bring your weary brothers rest? Damn. I was kind of putting off doing these lessons. It's perfect timing. It's all happening at the perfect timing. But to answer the question, is not my heart willing to bring my weary brothers rest? Yeah. And my heart is ready and willing to bring any brother rest. Rest in peace. They must await your release, as I awaited my teacher's release, We all get to show up for each other. We're all each other's teachers. And the ones that bother you the most, those are your master teachers. I know you're going to hate me for saying that, but it's true. You must await your own release. They stay in chains until you are free. They cannot see the mercy of the world until you find it in yourself. They suffer pain until you have denied its hold on you. They die until you accept your own eternal life. Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. Herein lies the peace of God. You are the Holy Son of God himself. You are the Holy Son of God himself. You are the Holy Daughter of God herself. Remember this, and all the world is free. Remember this, and earth and heaven are one. So, some of us grew up with the Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. And is heaven a place? No, it's a state of mind. It's the state of mind that goes before that time when we chose to experience duality. It's that state of mind when we frolicked in the Garden of Eden, and when we recognized that there was more than enough and enough and enough and enough and enough and enough. And when the ego attempted to tempt us with, don't you want something different? Don't you want something more? We simply giggled and said, enough, it's enough. This is all more than enough. Because I'm the Holy Son of God himself. Nothing is withheld from me. There isn't anything more. God isn't holding off, I've been given everything. You've been given everything as the Holy Son of God. So I hope that helps wake you up a little bit from the dream. And again, if you like these lessons, go ahead and like it and subscribe and share it with your friends. God bless and namaste.